Welcome back, everybody. This is Glockman4519 with Hayes Tech. This is another ROM overview, and as you guessed it by the wallpaper, it is Resurrection Remix. This is their latest update. Their latest release was the 25th of February. I just figured I'd get this out to you guys. I haven't put out a video on this in a while. There are a lot of new features added, and the ROM is running very, very great. Smooth. The kernel I'm running with this ROM is an outstanding kernel. That's another thing I wanted to discuss in this video. I'm running BLACKBIRD kernel, and I am running the latest version of that as well. The kernel and this ROM just seem to be a perfect match, at least for me and my device. Remember, everybody's devices are going to be different. They will run kernels different. They're going to act different with different ROMs, different kernels, even different apps sometimes. So bear that in mind whenever you go to flash something. That's why you test it. And that's why you always make a backup. So let's go ahead and get into this real quick here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, About Phone. This is Resurrection Remix. This is MV 5.6.4, but this is the 225 build. This actually updated to 5.6.4 on 223, but then they put out another update on the 25th with a couple more fixes. And this definitely is a better build. This is for the Nexus 6, Android version 6.0.1. And the kernel is BLACKBIRD kernel, and this is version 1.3, and it is his latest version. This kernel is overclockable. You can overclock it to, I think it's 288, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get into Kernel Auditor, I'll show you that. But there's not a whole lot of tweaks. He kind of just sets it up the way he likes it, and I mean, you can change some things about it. I recommend flashing it and just leaving it the way it is. It works. Let's go ahead and go back here. We are going to go to developer options. There's your advanced reboot. You have your root access. Make sure you have that ticked on. Your Android debugging. Anybody that runs a custom ROM knows you need to have this on. If something goes wrong, you are going to have to hook into your computer, run ADB to grab logs, whatever. You're not going to be able to do it if you don't have your Android debugging turned on. So that's one of the very first things you need to do as soon as you flash a ROM and set it up. On down here are your windows and your transition and your animator duration scales. They do not have the multi-window feature in this part of it. It is in another section. And at the very bottom is your Kill App Back button. I'm not going to go through all of these. I did want to hit a couple of them though. It does have privacy on here. I know a lot of you guys asked me about that. It does have it, so there's where you would go for that. Security settings. You have your device administrator, unknown sources. You want to have that ticked as well. If you're like me and you're side-loading apps, that is where you go to do that. Then, of course, you have screen pinning all the way at the bottom if you use that feature. Notifications. This is where your heads up is at. Do not disturb. All of that is going to be under notifications, and this is where it is all at. And you have your display and lights. Basic stuff here. Now, it does come with the theme setting where you can set it to light, dark, or automatic. Right now I have it set to light. I haven't really changed this at all. As soon as I flashed a ROM, I downloaded my favorite theme, threw it on, and I never looked back. So I am running neon colors. This is the way the theme looks. I love it. It's a dark theme, but it's got a lot of color to it, a lot of punch. It's not over dark, and and this theme touches every part of the ROM, every part of it. Here are your sounds. If you notice on a lot of other ROMs, they have the sound and notifications kind of bundled together. On this ROM, they have notifications separated and sound separated. So this is going to be where all your volumes are at, all your ringtones and notification tones, stuff like that. Here, of course, are your other sounds. I have everything turned off on this, just in case. I don't want anything to jump out unexpectedly and blow your eardrums out. Just now turned down my notifications. Probably should have done that at first, but we're lucky I did not get a notification. Then you have your vibrate features all the way at the bottom. You can have it on for calling or off if you don't like it. You can have your vibrate on torch. That is where you would set that up. And of course, your vibration intensity. I always run mine at around 30-ish, somewhere around there. And then let's go ahead and get into the settings everybody wants to know about. These are your Resurrection Remix configurations. You have your status bar controls, your clock customizations. These are all the customizations. One thing I want to say about Resurrection Remix right off the bat: color. I like color in my ROM. I don't like a white status bar. I hate everything in my status bar white. I've said it in the past. I've always said I'd like to see ROMs that just give you color control. This is the ROM with color control. I haven't seen another ROM out there that has as many color control features as this one. And I'll show you. We'll get into that. Then you have your battery. I am running battery on here because even though the 3-minute battery mod is supposed to work right out of the gate with it, and sometimes it does, but there's a kind of a bug in it, and it's not the ROM's fault. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The best way to get it to work if you want to run the 3-minute mod is to go to the XDA website, and go to their thread for the Nexus 6. Tell them what version of this ROM you're on, and ask them if they will build you a mod for it. And they will, with no questions. Those guys are great over there. Don't let anybody kid you. I've heard a lot of comments out there, but I've never had a problem with them, ever. This does have battery bar control. Right there are all the controls for that. Then you have your status bar icons. This is where you'd want to turn them on, turn them off, what you want showing. Then, of course, you can put your network traffic, your carrier label, Resurrection logo label, and like I've said in the past, if a ROM's going to make a label or a logo, I'm going to show it. So that's where you would put that at, and of course you can color it. Believe me, you can color everything in this ROM. Weather settings, there they are, and you've got your temperature control. The temperature control is not going to work for you until you set up your location in weather. You actually have to go into weather, start it, and go to custom location and put in your location. Once you do that, your temperature will come on. I thought it was broken for a long time, and then I actually did what I should have done, and that was read and research. Then you have your miscellaneous status bar settings. Here is where all of those are at, guys. Again, it's just crazy, the settings that they have in this. Here are your buttons, your nav bar buttons, your nav bar dimensions, of course your layout. I'm not going to change it. Well, I'll show you again. You just hit that button and then you physically move the buttons where you want to move them. Hit save, and they save. By the way, my nav bar is Fire Pop. I think it's one of the coolest nav bars out there. And I'm going to show you guys some things about the theme engine on this. It is way, way cool. They actually have theme app working on this. So I'll show you that. I'm going to put this back. There we go. Alright, then you can color that if you want. I leave it the way it is because I run themes. If I color it, my themes aren't going to be the way they, the color that it's supposed to be in the theme. So I leave that just white. You guys can put it whatever color you want. Then you have your recents long press action, your double tap to sleep, all that stuff. That's all under here. You get down lower. I mean, it's just your power menu. A lot of choices on the power menu. You guys know me. I love my choices. Of course, your end call by hitting the power button. Hit the power button twice for your camera, and the list goes on and on. Recents. These are all your recent settings. Quite a few of them. Then you have your recents view. You go immersive if you want. I do use the immersive. I like the full screen mode on that. And then if you use immersive, you can set it up where your clock shows, your date shows, all of that. And then, of course, down all the way at the bottom are your slim recents and omni. You can actually switch to slim recents if you so choose. These are all the settings for that. Or if you wanted to, you could even turn on omni switch and use it. Oops, I forgot the nav bar. Okay, here's your navigation. Um, notification drawer. Notification header. It's got the custom headers that you can choose from. Contextual header. Your header image pack. Um, right now I'm using the default. This one actually has a nature setting in it if you want. I'll show you guys. Right now I'm using just the default. If I switch that to the nature, you guys will see, well, actually didn't change. I think it actually has to reset itself. If I go to nature random, the screen actually changes. See how it changed? It just keeps changing. I'm gonna leave it there, and I'll show you later through the video that it changes again. It'll change to a different picture up there. Alright, then you have your notification header fonts and your notification header colors. Here are your color settings. Again, guys, colors. Man, I love this. I just love this feature. This ROM is just packed with features. I love my Resurrection Remix. I love all ROMs, guys. There's no getting around that. But I have my picks. Resurrection is right up there. Top 10. I mean, and when I say top 10, I mean they're at the very, very, very top of the list. Let's go back now to. I want to try not to have this video go too long. Lock screen settings. You have your security. Your lock screen media, all that. It's down here. Your wallpaper settings. Let's try to think where the shortcut settings are at on that. Animations. You have your system animations. You can change that if you want. These are all the different animations that you can change under your system. Toast animations. You have your list view animations. If you want on your lists when you're scrolling to have it look really cool, this is where you would change that. Of course, your power menu animation. I like to use the translucent bottom where the power menu just drops off to the bottom. And that's pretty much the only ones I use. And then they have scrolling cache at the bottom. I don't use that really. I probably should, but I don't. Then you have your gestures. You're going to have your gesture anywhere, your app circle bar, and of course your pie control. They are all there. They all work. I know I played with them. I've had this ROM on since, well, the 25th, and I've been messing with it. So, yes, all the features on that do work. Here are your miscellaneous features. One of the things that I like about this is if your kernel supports it. I know that the stock kernel that comes with this ROM supports it, and I highly recommend running the stock kernel as well. There's nothing wrong with it. It does not force encrypt. The only reason I'm running Blackbird is I wanted to test the kernel out, and I kind of like Blackbird kernel, so Anyways, you can change it to permissive or enforcing, and this is the switch to do it at. And here's where your multi-window mode is. For those of you that use that, I have it on. I don't really use it much. I just don't think that a phone is big enough to have two different windows on it. I have used it though. It's not like, it can't work. It does work. Here are your weather settings. This is when I was telling you guys about going into your clock and weather settings in order to get that temperature to work. You want to have your weather set to a custom location, and you set that custom location to your location. Then you have ad blocker, wake lock blocker, your system app remover, your media scanner behavior on boot, and of course your advanced sound. And under that is going to be where you can turn on or off your advanced sound features, which are your camera shutter sound, your screenshot sound, and of course your safe headset volume, which I always turn off. And then you can also go with your less frequent notifications. That is pretty much it. The last of this, of course, is your updates. This is where you would go for that, and the update is working. That is how I actually found out that there was a build 225 out there. I was running build 223, and I got the notification right in my status bar that said your new build of Resurrection Remix out. So I had to go try it. I was getting ready to do a video on build 23, and I saw this, so I figured, well, let me throw it in there and see if there were any changes. And there were a couple slight changes, and they were all to the good. So I figured I'd do the video now. Now, theme chooser, guys. Wait till you see this. This is awesome. Yes, this is got the theme chooser, the one that I like. This is the theme chooser that comes straight out of if you ran the 1+1 like I did, you know this theme chooser. This is my favorite. You can literally change every aspect of your ROM. Um, Not only that, you can go and apply different themes to different apps by using the app themer. The way that would work is you would hit the app themer, you'd get that little button. Ignore the settings right now, unless, of course, you want to change the settings to a different theme. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go home right now but you got to remember, you need to pick an app that is themable, number one. So let me go to my phone. And right now it is themed under the neon colors. That would be my keyboard under neon colors. So I'm going to theme that. And it's going to ask me which one of my downloaded themes I want to choose for that. Let me pick one here. Let's go with something I know that's really cool. Oh, I know one. I got to find it here real quick. I'm going to pause this. All right, now, what I did was I had to go in and look and find which one it was that I wanted to use. It is this one here. We're going to change it. And it has now just changed to gradient for my phone. Now, I may have to actually, now you notice the colors and everything's changed. You notice my icon's changed. That's what I love about this theme engine. It's just awesome. And the only thing that changed was the phone. That was it. Nothing else in this thing has changed. And when you're done with it, just get rid of it. I think I have to drag it to the bottom. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. This is the latest from Resurrection Remix. I'm also running the latest from BLACKBIRD Kernel. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And again, remember, guys, that on my Google Plus community, or even on the suggestions, comments in the bottom of this video, if you guys have a video that you want me to flash and make a video of, maybe you're thinking of flashing it on your device, but you're not sure what it's going to look like, let me know. I'll flash it for you. I'll do a video, and I'll put it out there for you guys to see what it looks like. Until I see you guys on the next one, everybody take care. I want to thank all my subscribers, and I will see you later.